and welcome in a series of shows that we're bringing to you in Abington to get you up to date on some of the future plans for the celebration of Abington's 300th birthday, which will take place in the year 2012. My name is Sean Riley, and I'm going to be the host of tonight's show, which tonight we're going to focus on the road race spectacular events that we have scheduled here coming up in the remainder of the year 2011 and into the year 2012. I'm pleased to have with me tonight Mr. Al Donaghy and Mr. Jim Bezerski of the Colonial Roadrunners, who are also the subcommittee chairpersons of the road race subcommittee in the tricentennial efforts. And along with Al and Jim, we also have Jan Prowl, who is our co-chairperson of the tricentennial committee. As I just mentioned, our last show talked about the fundraiser we recently held at Strawberry Valley, the golf tournament, which was very successful, and we appreciate all the people that supported the tricentennial efforts. And now, with the guidance of Al and Jim, the town of Abington, Rockland, and Whitman, the three towns, the original tri-town, are all coming together to host road races, one in each town, and then we'll finish up with one road race, the grand finale, that will go through all three of the towns. Al, I want to start with you first. First of all, I appreciate it. You've been in the business, so to speak, of road races for quite a number of years. And I also understand you have a particular line in your resume that you organized the road race for the 275th anniversary for the town of Abington.
That is correct.
And so tell us a little bit about the first race, which I believe is going to be in Rockland.
Oh, not the 275th.
No, the 300th coming up.
Gotcha, okay. All right. The first race is going to be in Rockland because the timing worked out well that way. We wanted to spread the races over the course of the rest of this year and into next year, leading up to the grand finale in June of 2012. And so the first race is in Rockland, partly because Rockland's been very cooperative and made it very easy for us. Lieutenant Nick Zioli of the Rockland Police Department was very helpful, helping us lay out a course and get approvals for it. And I have to thank the Board of Selectmen Chairman Larry Chafee for his help in getting selectmen's approval. And the Rockland School Department particularly have been very generous in making the Memorial Park School available for us for the start and finish of the race and for registration. And the all-important thing of road races, the restrooms. So that's we got off with Rockland the soonest because they were, I guess, maybe the most cooperative.
Friends in Rockland have always been great, and for those of you who are maybe new to Abington, the reason why Rockland and Whitman are involved is, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, Abington, Rockland, and Whitman used to be the town of Abington, Old Abington, as the historians know, and then in the 1800s, Whitman broke apart and formed initially the town of South Abington, and 9 years later, town meeting voted to change it to the town name of Whitman, and Rockland also broke away from what was East Abington and became the town of Rockland. For the 2012 anniversary, on June 10th, 2012, a Sunday, we will celebrate together our 300th anniversary. The town of Abington, Old Abington, was founded in 1712. Now, Jim, if I can ask you about the road race itself, it's not just for runners, as I understand, and we're welcoming walkers and walkers of all ages, correct?
We're welcoming walkers, 1.5 mile race. We're also offering a 5K run for runners, and it can be competitive, it can be a fun run, whatever you want to make it. We're also involving a team competition. So if you've got 3 or more individuals, you can sign up, whether it's a family, coworkers, friends. Now, Jan, we just recently received some sign up for our first team, and that was from who?
Kiwanis in Rockland. Just received that today, so that's our first team.
Let me correct you. It's the second team. We do have
second
a team.
Okay,
we have a team from online signups.
Online.
Terrific.
Yeah.
We have online signups, and people can mail them in. I received the first mail. Al must have received the first sign up online.
Yep.
So.
So we'll throw down the gauntlet then. The Rockland Kiwanis Club has already formed a team, so we'll throw a challenge out there to the Abington Rotary Club, the Lions Club, the Knights of Columbus, any other clubs out there, or businesses. And you don't have to form a team at all. You can go out on your own. You can go out with friends and family, join the walk, do the run. I mean, you'd be surprised, but I don't run very often. I only run if people chase me, okay? So I might take part in the walk, which I'm very interested in doing, and it starts at Memorial Park, right, Al?
Yes.
Which is the
Memorial Park School.
Memorial Park School, which
Yes.
is near the Rockland High School, for those of people who aren't familiar with Rockland.
That is correct.
If you go in one of those side streets towards Rockland High School, you'll get to the Memorial Park. You'll see the tons of people who will be there on that morning. And once again, the date is Saturday, August 27th.
That's
That
correct.
is correct.
All right.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock start, so get there early. Now, how does one sign up and what does it cost? I mean, the road race is a fundraiser, but it's also a fundraiser.
Can I just interrupt for a minute?
Sure.
While we're talking about the location and how to get there, there's a lot of construction going on at the school, the high school right
Yes.
now. And if you go down there during the week, there's the construction workers' cars. The police, Lieutenant Zioli has promised me that he'd have the police down there to direct parking. There's parking at the school, there's parking up by the tennis courts. There should be a lot of parking around there.
Great.
And of course, there will be doing no construction on Saturday, we hope, unless they're behind schedule. So I just point
All right.
that out, that there will be some places to park.
And what is the registration fee for runners and walkers?
It's the same in both cases. If they enter before the 20th of August, they pre-enter, it's $20. And if they wait till actually the fee is $25, but if they pre-enter, we'll give them a $5 discount.
So sign up by the 20th. It's a $20 registration fee per
Correct.
runner, per walker.
Yes,
And all checks should be made to the Abington Tricentennial Committee.
that's correct.
Right? We'll be putting up information. We have information up there on the screen right now to tell you how to get more information and how to download the forms. Jim, you have had a lot of experience. I mean, this is not just kind of a ragtag, we fire off a starter's pistol and everyone kind of takes off, and when you get back, congratulations. This is a well-run, documented race where you actually give times to everyone. Is that right?
That's correct. So what we're going to wind up doing is we coordinate, get everybody's registration online and even within the paper applications. We come up with a complete list, and we got pre-registration, post-registration, where somebody can come in, day of race, sign up for the race. We'll get your numbers assigned to you, and we wind up doing is if you have a good coordinated race day, the race director is on around to be found. It kind of runs itself once the race starts. So race day, if things are going well, you probably won't see Alan or me. But one thing that we're going to look at is we have a timed event, and that's being timed by Colonial Roadrunners. We thank you very much for them helping us with that. We'll have volunteers throughout the course for directing pre-registration process throughout the course for turns and safety, water stops, and post-race celebration. Now, it takes a lot of prep to put together a road race, including getting permissions from the various municipal resources, police, highway safety officers, and then just coordinating online registration, creating the sites. Obviously, we have awards to give out. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then bringing all the volunteers together race day to make the race happen. And, it's the volunteers that really make the race happen. And, we're really looking forward to have other volunteers help out. So if you want to help with this race, you can certainly work with Al or me, and the information to contact is on the application as well.
Excellent. That'd be great. So if you're not a runner, or if you don't want to walk, you can help be a volunteer, or you can get on the streets of Rockland and just kind of cheer on the people who are running by. It's kind of our own little mini Boston Marathon running through the finer streets in Rockland.
Historic streets.
The historical streets of Rockland, that's right.
Yeah.
And you mentioned there'll be different age categories for the awards, the champions of different categories. What are the categories that you guys have set up?
So we've got awards, and we've got awards for first, second, third, male and female in age categories 10 through 19, 20, 29, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and what was it, 70 to what?
70
Oh,
to 70 to 300.
All right, so
70 to 300 years old. Okay, great. I love that.
and we're also going to have overall first place male and female winners, and we've got some nice trophies for those individuals. So I think everybody's got a good chance to get out and have some fun and perhaps win some prizes.
That's great. So if you're a diehard runner, this is a great opportunity to really push yourself, perhaps get a trophy. But as we said before, if you just want to go out and enjoy the fresh air with friends, you want to take a walk with people, or just take a fun run, as you said, the more the merrier. We want everybody. You don't have to be from Abington, Rockland, or Whitman, right? You can
That's
be
correct.
from anywhere. So spread the word. Challenge your friends. Challenge another business to put a team together. And Jan, I think we mentioned that not only is the registration information and form online, but it's also paper copies are available at different places around town.
We have hard copies of the flyer that has the application on the back. You can find it at Town Hall. You can find it at the library and also at Bemis Drug Store.
Great, and I want to also thank J.P. Ryan's and the Cellar Restaurant and Abington Athletic Club and McGuigan's Pub are some of the other people that have the forms and have been supporting the work of the 300th. And I know that McGuigan's Pub, which is an Irish pub in downtown Whitman on Washington Street, Richie Rosen, the owner, had he has an annual road race, and he was kind enough to make a donation to the Abington Tricentennial Committee. Is that right?
Yes,
correct.
he came to our meeting on July 20th. Several, I think it was about a half a dozen of us. He asked for members of the Tricentennial Committee or volunteers to come and help with the road race the end of June at McGuigan's that they held. It was a 5K. And there was quite a few of us that went that day to help out, just kind of pointing directions and stuff. And they were going to different charitable organizations. And Mr. Rosen came to our meeting on July 20th and presented the Tricentennial Committee with a check for $1,500.
That's great.
So it
and
was
we appreciate
absolutely,
that.
we were very appreciative. Go online, you can see the picture and a little bit of history, but he's been very, very good to us.
And one other thing, guys, I understand that the first 100 people who sign up for this Rockland Road Race will get a special T-shirt.
Well, that's right. We're using the standard Abington Tricentennial logo, but we've customized it kind of special for Rockland, and it will be revealed that day. And it's for the first 100 runners and walkers, and
The
they're
first 100 people sign up.
100 people that
Runners or
sign up,
walkers, yeah.
whether it's through the mail, we're date stamping them, or online through the signmeup.com. First 100 get the shirt, and again, it's going to be, we're going to have a separate shirt for each one. Rockland will have theirs, there'll be a separate one for Whitman, and Abington's will be the Tricentennial shirt that is our Kiwi shirt that many of the people in town have been buying.
So if you're a runner or a walker, you can actually collect the shirt from each road race, take part in each race. That'd be great, a nice little keepsake for the 300th anniversary. And after this Rockland Road Race, which again is on Saturday, August 27th, sign up early so you can get your T-shirt, and you also get the discounted race fee, the registration fee.
right.
What is the second race? Where is that going to be, in Abington or Whitman?
That'll be in Whitman,
In Whitman, or
And that
formerly
is-
known as South Abington.
South Abington, right. That is going to be tentatively on November the 13th.
Okay.
Pending approval by the selectmen. We're meeting with them at their next meeting.
Great.
Which I believe is the 16th, the 17th of, it's the 16th of August.
All right, so a November race in Whitman, and then the third race, which will be in the motherland of Abington.
Motherland, yeah.
When is that going to be held?
That'll be May, I believe it's May the 20th. It's the third Saturday in May
Of
of
2012.
2012. And it'll be at the police station, starting into the police station. And it'll be the same route that the Community Partners race have used for the last 2 years.
We've got a pretty flat race course there in Abington.
Actually, it runs through the historic Mount Vernon Cemetery.
Yeah, it's got a couple of dips and doodles in there.
That's
That's
right.
right. That's
Well,
right.
there's actually some historic markers in there. There's at least one Revolutionary War soldier's grave in that cemetery. And over the years, we've had the night before the 4th Committee Road Race, you
Yep.
run through the cemetery, and I directed those, and I've offered a prize for anyone who could come back and give me the name of the soldier that was buried there. When they were running, they're not going to look at graves.
So-
So I never had to give the prize
There you
out,
go
but
right now.
I try to tie that in with the Declaration of Independence and the War of Independence and things like that. So,
So if you're
it's still
watching this,
there,
if
and,
you're watching
yeah.
this show now you have a little tip. You can get out to the cemetery,
Ooh.
find it first,
Sorry, I blew
join
that.
the road race, and then
There you go,
then go to
yeah.
see Al at the end of the race.
And Al, what was that prize you were giving away?
Well, actually, I'd have to make it up on the spot because I never had one.
All right.
Now, all these races, road races, are 5K for the runners and 1.5 miles for the
A
walkers.
nominal 1.5, because the city streets are going to dictate
Right.
exactly how long it is.
Right, and strollers are welcome, anybody of all ages, like we said. It can really be a nice community event, and I hope that we'll see a lot of people from Abington going over to race in Rockland and to race in Whitman, and similarly, people from Whitman and Rockland coming to Abington and from points beyond. I think the bigger the crowd, the more fun the event.
Sure.
You know, it's a great challenge for people.
I'd point out that many people that live in other towns around here grew up in Abington,
That's right.
Rockland, or Whitman, and they are certainly welcome to come back and participate in their hometown.
Now, Jan, in addition to the road races, just while, if we could give people an idea of other events that might be coming up in the future that they can kind of keep their ears open for. The Tricentennial Committee meeting, they meet twice a month. And I know you've got a lot of different ideas that we're trying to get community support, volunteers out there. Not that you have to be on the steering committee itself, but if you'd like to volunteer to help organize a certain function, like the road race, like the golf tournament, like a dance or the parade. Jen, why don't you tell us some of the ideas that people have put forth and are kind of moving down the list right now that we hope to bring to fruition?
Yeah, it's been almost a year now that we've been meeting, and I think Al came to us, in the fall of last year, so he's been working on these road races for quite a while. One thing that's going on right now is Timber Lanes has had fundraising programs 50-50 all summer long. This will be our third week starting on August 17th to August 23rd. Anybody that prints a flyer off of the Timber Lanes website for the Tricentennial, if you bowl that week for bowling and shoe rental, 50% will come back to the Tricentennial Committee. So our third one this summer is August 17th to August 23rd. Right now, also, the road races, August 27th, start time of 9 o'clock. And we're going to get into many other things. We have a booklet committee that's doing a fabulous job. They're trying to get together, and they're meeting constantly. And the information's almost out there for people to want to place ads in a commemorative booklet. So we will have that coming up. We are in the process of. We have given the okay to move ahead with some commemorative items. We'll have a commemorative coin. There'll be a couple of commemorative lapel pins. There'll be a commemorative Christmas ornament and a trivet. So they're all in the works. Haven't got anything yet, hoping maybe to have them in September. We're going to have a table at the Christmas craft fair that's sponsored up at the high school. I believe the band parents sponsor that. And they've been gracious enough to give us a table that day. Hopefully we'll have that in. We're still working on our Tricentennial Beaver. It's been kind of difficult getting that one done, but we are still working on that. I hope that will come to fruition. We're really, that'd be great.
Now, I have to ask, on behalf of the viewers at home, what's a trivet?
A trivet, that's what you put your hot stuff on the dinner table.
Oh, I have one of those from past celebrations.
Yep, so
And I also have, right here, is the coin from previous celebrations. As a kid, remember when they passed these out? This one, I believe, is actually from the bicentennial.
You were that old, huh?
Oh, I didn't know you were that old, Sean.
Yeah, well, maybe someone passed this down to me, I don't recall. But these coins are great, especially for kids, as a keepsake. And as we mentioned before, I really hope the community will come out and support the efforts of the 300th Committee and the road race and the antique fair and all these different things that we're doing. Because I would just love it that the kids in Abington and the adults, but really the kids in Abington, when they get older, they can say, I was there. I was there during the 300th party. It was a great year for Abington. We had fireworks, we had a parade, we had celebrations down at Island Grove, all the different things. I mean, in a year, 100 years ago, in 1912, the 200th anniversary, the residents of Abington got together and they purchased, constructed, and dedicated a famous monument in this town, which a lot of people, I think, just kind of walk over and forget, but the Memorial Bridge at Abington Grove and the Memorial Arch. Quite a monument put forth by the residents of Abington. In fact, President Taft was invited to be there for the grand opening. The dedication, unfortunately, couldn't make it. But it has always been a very large celebration for this town, including most recently the 275th back in, what was that now, 87?
88, 87.
87 and 62.
Well, the bridge
Was it
too now
250?
is a registered historical.
It's a historical landmark.
It's not just a landmark in Abington to the residents here and people that visit, but it is a registered historical place. And we're hoping that down the line there'll be some monies that will be able to be set aside by hopefully our committee and others that want to get involved with the Abington Historical Commission and those that are kind of overseeing historical sites, that we need to restore that bridge.
Yeah, and I hope people in Abington will kind of, as I say, get involved and just take a minute, if you grew up in Abington especially, and you can remember some of the great things, if you're fortunate to take swimming lessons at Island Grove, or if you remember great things like Owen's News, or Erickson's News, or Cal's for the older guys and girls in Abington. Some of the different farms, Beals Farm's still around, Stevens Farm's around, Henrikson's Dairy, some of the old parts of town that we like to celebrate. And one thing I noticed, I have a copy of the book from the 250th. The businesses in the town were very much celebrated and hailed, and in their booklet, not only did they take out advertising, but they also had a little blurb about their business, about how long they had been in Abington or what they did. And it was great because now when you read it 50 years later, it tells you what the town was like, what the businesses were doing in town, and what they were most proud of. You know, and this business in this town, I mean, I throw it out to you, what's older, Bemis Drug or Abington Bank? You know, what was the name of Cape Cod Lumber before it became Cape Cod Lumber? You have to watch our next show, we'll try to answer some of these questions. But there's a lot of great stuff like that. The history of this town, Abington does have a very valued history, both in wartime, you know, Civil War, which is the whole purpose of why that bridge was dedicated, in the Revolutionary War, just a lot of great people, great families, great businesses. And for that matter, again, I hope people come out and enjoy these road races. And this is a great way, I give you guys credit, it's a great way to get the three towns together early on in this process. And I think, and I hope you guys are expecting a pretty good crowd in each town.
And we are, and we're really shooting for that. And that kind of brings us to our next point, and this will be our final race of the series, which will bring the three towns together, which we will plan on doing a half marathon, which I think you directed in the 275th anniversary. We're going to do the same for the 300th, and it'll be the final. Hopefully we'll plan a game around June. And again, we're looking for, you know, we want to have runners. It's definitely going to be 13.1 miles, so it's a little bit of a distance, takes a little bit of training and prep for that. Certainly a competitive run, certainly a fun run, and we're going to welcome all three towns and all surrounding areas and running clubs to join this race.
That'd be great. So who will be crowned the champion of the 300th anniversary, a half marathon? Won't be me, I can guarantee you that.
Okay.
But that's great. So the first three runs, Rockland, Whitman, and Abington, will be 5K runs with 1.5 mile walks. And the grand finale, as you just mentioned, will be a half marathon right sometime around the birthday itself, which is June 10th, 2012. We'll announce that day. That'll be obviously take a lot more coordination with the towns, and one new twist that's kind of come up recently, as you mentioned earlier before we started taping, is the fact that the trains are running nowadays. So we have to make sure that it's a safe route and that there's no conflict between the MBTA schedule and our runner schedule. But I'm sure you guys, with your experience, you'll make it happen. It'll be a great event for all.
We thought we would take it, I'm making a joke now, take a tip from the way Hingham handled the MBTA railroad extension, and they put a tunnel under downtown Hingham. So if we can get a couple of tunnels under the tracks in Whitman, and the tracks don't go to Rockland at all, so we don't have to worry about those, but that would allow us to have a much easier route. But that may not happen.
Well, we also have the bridge by St. Bridget's, the only place that goes
That's
under
the
the
only
tracks,
place,
so we
yeah,
can
you can do it
go
there.
to and fro
We'd have to
through
come
there.
and fro,
So
that's right,
I'm sure
yeah.
we can find
Yeah.
find routes around it.
That's right, and I hope if people would like to help out, if you don't want to be a runner or a walker and you want to help out to actually help during the race itself, again, you can contact Al or Jim. You can look on the address of the website. There's a link on the 300th anniversary website to the forms. There's also, again, paper copies at the town hall, the library, at the Abington Athletic Club, at
Bemis Drugstore.
Bemis Drugstore, at the Cellar,
Advanced Cardio System.
Advanced Cardio System, thank you. All around town, they have the forms here. So if you can run, if you want to kind of get your family together for a little family day, walk around with a bunch of other families, and if you'd like to volunteer, or at the very least, get out there and cheer on the runners and walkers as they go by. It could be quite a good time. And then we'll go visit our friends in South Abington in November, right?
Correct.
For the second of the 4-race circuit.
Can I make one point too? I think Jim didn't mention, but for people who aren't regular runners, may not be aware of this, but there's only 47 awards given out. If we have 150 runners, that means 150 minus 47 don't get an award, but they are not neglected. Their names will be listed with their times and the calculated minutes per mile on the website Cool Running, and we'll have every single one of them on there. That's standard practice for Colonial Road Runners Timing Service, and
Great.
so they'll get their name on TV.
It'll be published.
Yeah.
And again, the two incentives for signing up early for this event and for all of the running is, number one, you have a discounted registration fee, $20 instead of $25. But number two, perhaps more importantly, is you get that free commemorative T-shirt, which we will not disclose until the actual
Not
race
going to be
date.
disclosed till that day.
All right, and there'll be a different shirt for each race.
Yes.
Correct.
Still the same Celebrate Abington 300-year logo, but
Yeah.
we've added a little twist to it, a little bit different color, so it'll be,
It's going to be a different color shirt too.
it'll be a different color shirt also.
And as Al, as you mentioned, we want to extend our thanks once again to our friends over in Rockland and in Whitman. the boards of selectmen, the police department, highway, DPW crews over there, who help to make these road races possible. They make sure that the streets, the route is clean. They also make sure it's safe, and it makes it really an enjoyable day, and it kind of brings back that small town feeling for some of our towns, which are 3 small towns. But together as one, we will celebrate in the year 2012.
And they'll see historical sites of Rockland, Whitman, and Abington that they've never seen before.
That's right. And just to bring up 3 more upcoming events, Jan. Abington Old Town Christmas House Tour, which will be held in December, the weekend of December 10th and 11th. Part of the fundraising for that event, which is always a huge success, some of the funds will be donated towards the Tricentennial Committee. And then also there'll be another trivia night coming up in January 2012. That's always a great time. If you haven't had the time to come by one of the trivia nights, you got to do it. Have some friends. And then this one I think is great, the Mayor for a Day contest. This is an idea that was borrowed from Southie and from Situate, from
Yes.
St. Patrick's Day parades, where we're looking, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jen, for a mayor of Abington, a mayor of East Abington, i.e. Rockland, and a deputy mayor of East Abington,
And a
from East
deputy
Abington,
mayor of South
and
Abington.
a deputy mayor from South Abington. And in order to be, now, the race hasn't started yet, so don't
Be
start
in
your
the spring
campaign
of
engines.
2012.
All right.
You
you'll-
start your campaign, you just can't do anything with it.
So people can vote for you by, what is it, a dollar
Going to be a
donation?
dollar vote, dollar donation, and yes, like you said before, the one time you can buy a vote.
So if you can get your friends out, and if you want to get in the running to be the mayor of Abington, the winners will be in the parade.
In the parade.
So that will be something that will be etched into history, and in doing so and gathering the votes, you're also helping us raise funds from all of the 3 towns, so it'll be quite, I throw out the gauntlet to my friends in Rockland and Whitman. I hope that you really kind of stir up the political engines to try to get your names out there. Man, woman, or child, anyone can be the mayor, you just got to get the most votes. And all the money raised for the Tricentennial goes to make it a bigger and better celebration. Can't have fireworks without the funding. You can't have the parades without the funding. Even just having the ball that, we'd like to have a dance for adults, which is to be scheduled also. All these great events, from the kiddie parades to even just buying balloons, we want to make it a tremendous and memorable series of events.
Well, we've also set up a tier sponsor that you can find on the website. We're looking for, those businesses that want to and have the means to make a big donation. We'll supply some, a banner for the parade and tickets for the celebration dinner dance that we're going to do March 3rd at the Massasoit Conference Center at Massasoit, I believe is what it's called. That's really in the works right now. The date is set. The band is set. There's many things in the works, and that's planned for March 3rd of next year. But all of this, we need to get there. And the tier sponsors, it gives, business and stuff, come to us one time. Give us a sponsor. Won't bother you again.
It's a once every 300-year thing.
Yeah, we have
This will be great.
4 sponsor categories. We have a platinum sponsor for $25,000, a gold sponsor for $10,000, a silver sponsor for $5,000, and a bronze sponsor for $3,000. We're really reaching out to businesses, and not just in Abington, of course, in all the towns around. Anyone that wants to participate. All the information is on the website. Look at the blog section on the first page. It'll bring you right to all the information, or send us an email on our email address. You can find that on the website also. And if it's something that you can do, we need the funds.
Yep.
And I know we said this in our last cable show. Waiting for the funds to come in doesn't help us to plan for what we're doing. If you want the parade, parades cost money. It's not something, you may go to something that's free, but there's a lot of funds that have to go into making that happen. The parade will be on June 10th of 2012 with fireworks hopefully in that vicinity, hopefully within a couple of weeks, and kind of an old-time country fair, children's parade, everything tied into the fireworks, hopefully a nice band concert that night. Again, it all takes funding, and we're looking for thousands and thousands of dollars. We had a nice fundraiser with the trivia night in January and another one with the golf tournament in June. A lot of businesses in Abington, I can't even say, and small business in Abington stepped up to the plate, made incredible donations. We had more than one tournament sponsor, more than one luncheon sponsor, more than one whole sponsor. I mean, it was fabulous. But we're offering people, and you don't just get, for your $10,000, you can also get, a banner at the fireworks celebration. Again, tickets to the dinner dance and a framed certificate and stuff like that for your place of business or at home or whatever. And, we just we have a subcommittee for
Right.
the tier sponsors that kind of put this together, and we really think that this gives, small businesses, medium businesses, large businesses, an opportunity to really come forward with a generous donation that will really help us fund. I mean, we know the fireworks are going to be in the vicinity of $40,000, and, you just don't make that up with a donation here and there. But what we'd like to do is, and we've talked about it before, have everybody in town make a donation, $5, $10. Do you realize how fast that adds up? If everyone in town made a donation. Kids, actually, I'm throwing a challenge out there to the new senior class at Abington High School. Pick up a tricentennial shirt. It's got the year of your graduation
That's
on
right.
it, 2012. If all the seniors of the 2012 class would pick up a T-shirt at Bemis Drug, all could wear them for their class picture that's usually taken outdoors, right at the beginning of the year. Have the entire senior class.
And what do they cost?
The T-shirts are $10 a piece.
$10.
And I mean, it's a commemorative for you because it's not only your class, but I believe graduation, if I'm not correct, is possibly the day before our anniversary. I think it's maybe June 9th of next year. So, I mean, this is a commemorative for you, too. You're graduating in the year of Abington's 300th birthday, and we have T-shirts with your class number on it. Already done.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was looking through the booklet from the 250th anniversary, and they had a photo of the senior class from that year as part of the celebration. They had, who were the selectmen at the time, who was the town moderator, who was on the committee, and then who were the senior class officers, and had a photo of the senior class. Again, this type of stuff is what people 50 years from now are going to be talking about, and everyone has a role to play, and I hope everyone will actually step up and enjoy it. And if you have an idea, something you think would be great for for your business, or for your family, for the kids in town, or for the adults to enjoy, by all means, let us know. Let us know. Talk to Jan. Go to one of the meetings. Some of the members of your committee, let's see, Frank Jenowitz, Rita Wing, Mike Franey, Bob Kelly, help me out here, Robin Fernald,
We have Phyllis and Russ Wheatley.
Phyllis and Russ Wheatley,
We have Kathy and Jack Bailey.
Kathy and Jack Bailey, of course,
Nancy
and,
Reed.
huh?
Nancy Reed.
Nancy
Yes, well,
Reed.
Nancy Reed, publicity, I mean,
Yeah. Anyway, if you have an idea, again, we'd love to have something going on every other weekend in 2012. If we can make it happen, and with your support, we will make it happen. But for the immediate future, we want to thank you guys for making it happen. And let's go back to, just to remind everyone once again, the date of the next road race and the location is what, Al?
August 27th, 9 a.m., Memorial Park Elementary School in Rockland.
In Rockland. And if people want to get involved, they go onto the website, or they can pick up the registration forms, get that free T-shirt, and be a part of history, really, and help support the 300th anniversary for the town of Abington.
And we're also taking race day registration. So if you decide you want to race that day, certainly come on down, 8 o'clock, sign up. We will have a place for you. But I certainly recommend you register ahead of time to ensure that you'll get that free T-shirt.
You betcha. So once every 300 years, the town throws a big party, and I hope you'll be a part of it. I want to thank Al and Jim for being with us tonight. Jan, thank you for your wealth of knowledge as the committee chairperson. I want to thank also Joe Shea, who's running the cameras for us, along with Justin Shanahan.
and he is also on the committee with us. We just kind of left his name out. Sorry, Joe.
So thank you, Joe, and thank you for watching. I hope, again, you'll get involved and share your ideas and maybe make a donation to the cause so we can all celebrate the history and the fun of being, taking pride in Abington for our 300th anniversary on June 10th, 2012. Thanks for tuning in.